One thing to consider before you start drawing your book is what type of book do you have? Obviously, there are many different types of bindings and paper content for your various books, so this is important to keep in mind before you start drawing them. Particularly important is whether or not it's actually worth saving your book. Do you have an old mass market paperback where the paper pages are already oxidized and they're getting kind of old and the binding's falling apart? Chances are this is a lost cause. If you want to replace it, it's not going to be that expensive if you do it on an online purveyor or even at your local bookstore. And I'd recommend probably tossing it. The pages are just going to stick together and you're never going to have it look anywhere close to what it did originally. Next, you might have a variety of hardback books. You could have older books with one type of paper. If it's a mass-produced hardback, it might have either higher content of cotton in the paper, which means that the pages are going to dry well, or it might have a higher paper pulp content, which means you might end up having to discard it along with those mass market paperbacks. This is up to you, and you can always try and dry it for a while before deciding whether to toss it or not. Newer paperbacks that are in good condition are probably good candidates for drying, particularly if only the edges are wet and it's not wet all the way through. The most important thing to remember for your book is if you have a nice hardback with super shiny, glossy pages. In order for the pages to get the gloss that they have, they're coated in a particular type of clay. Once this gets wet, it can stick together permanently if allowed to dry that way. So it is very, very important if you have clay-coated, shiny pages, also in such things as high-fashion glossy magazines. This has to be dealt with very quickly and precisely, otherwise the entire book is going to end up being just one huge lump of clay.